The Mount Pleasant Creek area in Belmopan is valuable to its people. This area serves as a water catchment, green space, and home to a number of wildlife and plants for the capital city. In 2008, pegs were planted to subdivide the area, but vigilant residents in the city were quick to put a stop to it. They called on local authorities to recognize the importance of the strip of land, and it was put on the reserve, making it illegal to use the buffer zone. Fast forward 10 years, and this piece of land appeared to be under the control of illegal settlers, many of whom are immigrants, some undocumented. There are several families. Our estimates put the number between 6 to 8 families, but those are only the ones we saw. As City Administrator Ralston Fraser explains, they are discovering even more squatters as they go farther into the reserve, and they've already encroached on 50 acres of land.
I wish I could give you a definite number, but the number continues to grow as we dig deeper and deeper into these bushes. We realize the number keeps growing. But what we had found on Thursday, I think it was at least six families that had already been in place, and there were at least 4 more preparatory works in place. It's not just what we see here. We have discovered, particularly this morning, that there are others beyond the bushes you see behind you. A fair estimate would be around 50 acres that these people are encroaching upon. That's a lot of land, smack in the middle of Belmopan.
Antonio Vasquez is from El Salvador. He has been in Belize for 4 years, but he says his rent is too high in Las Flores, Belmopan. He pays $325 per month, so he claims that his friend told him that there was land available here. He decided to start a ranch and was clearing land for the past 2 days until he was stopped on Tuesday.
Tengo bastantes hijos, y lo que puedo pagar en la renta, ya haciendo mi ranchito, lo puedo utilizar, ¿verdad? Para comprarle su bienestar, su comer y todo, si puede, sus alimentos. Así es.
¿Usted hace cuántos años viviendo aquí?
4 años de andar aquí yo trabajando en fincas naranjeras. Sí, así es.
Dejaste El Salvador porque la vida está duro allá.
Está duro, así es. Está duro, la violencia también está duro. Así es, claro. Aquí está mejor.
But dealing with these squatters requires a multi-agency approach, as Fraser explains.
Actually, we are in process of that now, and not only to immigration, all the other relevant agencies, including human development, as you may have observed in these wooden structures that are already up. You see children around. I don't know if they're from those particular dwellings, but let's just assume that that is the case. It brings in the element of giving attention from human development. It comes to us from an emotional perspective. It comes to us from a technical perspective. It comes to us from a legal perspective. It comes to us from a social perspective. Any angle which you may choose, it is in this basket. Again, I want to say though, all that being said, deal with it, we must.
Since given their 14 days notice on Monday, the squatters now have 11 days to vacate the area. Those who've settled have indicated that they will only move if they're given another piece of land to live on. Otherwise, they do not have anywhere else to go. But if left up to residents, these squatters must move out.
They start off as shortcuts as they access one area to one area of Belmopan into another. Then slowly over time, these shortcuts become a bit wider, and then they start to do just basic farming in those areas. And then, before you know it, when they believe that they have achieved some kind of firm footing on the area, then they build very rapidly. We have wells, latrines right behind a very well-developed area. This area is an area that we are proud of because the community works together and the city does take care of this particular area. These people are not necessarily poor. These people are squatters. They are trying to access land. So it's not a poverty issue. We work with people who are poor, who are hungry, who need clothing, who need shelter. We work with these people all the time. This is an issue of law breaking. Poverty exists, but it is not an excuse for breaking the law.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.